Yo, so the opinions and views expressed in this podcast are that of our own and the future Bachelor podcast only, and not affiliated with any outside party or entity or anything like that. This fun podcast, though, may include some adult language.
Future Bachelor podcast.
Besides all that, why don't we get into what we do here? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Oh.
Wrong side.
Because it's that time to talk about Bachelor stuff on our show and much more, because this is the show that provides all the Bachelor and reality TV drama that you are missing, might be missing while we're in the off season of the shows. But, you know, before we get talking about Bachelor, YouTube, I'm going to need you to go ahead and subscribe, smash that thumbs up button, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified every time we drop new Bachelor content, just like this. And if you just did, oh man, huge shout out to you. Ooh-wee, air horns for you. You know, this is the point of the show where we shout out the people that leave comments on our YouTube videos. So we got to shout out the OGs, the Nancy Drew crew. We got Catherine Ann, Kathleen Kent, Marion SP. But this week, you know, Kathleen was gone last week. Now we got Chelsea gone this week. What you guys?
They like are swapping in and out.
Yeah, I know. What is this? Summer vacation? You know, probably is. I mean, respect. Marion SP is in the building, of course. Happy belated to you, Marion. And then returning in the chat room, we got Patriot Lady. So, you know, we got the crew in there. All you got to do is leave a comment and we'll shout you out too on the next episode. We do this every week, baby. You know, we've been highlighting some comments for comment of the week. And this week's comment of the week comes from Catherine Ann. What's up, Catherine Ann? The question is, if you were going on The Bachelor, what would your limo exit be? She goes, I think mine, I would do a 30-second date. That is actually pretty cool. I wonder what a 30-second date would consist of. If you had a 30-second date, V, what would you do in it?
I feel like it's like almost like an elevator pitch, but like a date.
Yeah. Like, you know? I mean, what are the best parts of a date?
I feel like getting to know somebody.
Yeah. How do you do that in 30 seconds?
I think you could like ask like some like kind of those rapid fire questions, like of like this or that kind of situation. Okay.
Like speed dating.
Yeah.
Interesting. If you were, what would be your limo exit? We've probably talked about this in the past, but what would your choice be for a limo exit?
I mean, I feel like I'm trying to think of something that would best represent me. And I feel like I would have to do like something maybe like I feel like I'm more of like a clever line kind of girl, maybe with a slight prop. I don't know what my prop would be, but I wouldn't be rolling up in something weird or anything like that or like whatever. I think I would be more like subtle because I want it to be more about like something that represents my personality. Like I feel like usually people know me for like loving meatballs, but I can't do that because we've had Meatball James on a season, so that's been taken and that bit is bad. But I feel like maybe, I don't know, I'm like trying to think of other things that I could do that would be of my.
I'd probably try to bring like a hot pizza or something like that.
Oh yeah, you do love pizza.
Love pizza, or maybe it would probably make me go home for night one because he's just on here to be an actor. But I'd bring a scene. I'd be like, you know, I'm an aspiring actor, but you know, and I'll just get it out of the way and give her a script and like kill it, and then hopefully she'll just like me. That'd be kind of cute. She would like me for my acting skills, so I'm just like, you know.
And the pizza, you could be all like, I want to pizza your heart.
Or it could be shaped as a pizza.
Yeah.
Like, take a piece of my heart.
Oh.
Oh.
So cute.
But yeah, anyways, so yeah, that was a comment of the day. You can have the comment of the day too. All you got to do is leave us something thought-provoking so we can talk to each other a little bit about it.
Yeah, or respond to any of this interesting news we might be getting into.
Exactly. We're giving you the topics to ask us. So, and then, you know, just want to shout out to everyone checking out the full podcast, available anywhere you listen to podcasts. If you like what we're doing around here on YouTube, talking about, you know, Bachelor stuff and reality TV, we talk about a lot more pop culture and our lives and what's going on and new music and all that. So check out the podcast. It's fun and weekly.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's fun. and weekly.
I promise.
It's fun, I promise. All right, guys, V's gonna let us know what's going on in Bachelor Nation this week. What is going on?
Honestly, this is like such like this to me gives me hope kind of news. It is the news that Kaity and Zach, our newest couple in Bachelor Nation, have returned to like their lives in Austin pretty much. Kaity is back to 12-hour shifts as a nurse. I'm pretty sure she started as like a travel nurse. I don't know if she like is still acting as a travel nurse in Austin or if she's going to get a full thing with them, but that goes whatever way. So she's doing she's a full-ass nurse doing 12-hour shifts, doing all that kind of thing. And Zach is pretty much going back to, I think, his job and things like that. And they really like Austin. They don't have any, they didn't want to move to LA to pursue all that kind of stuff and everything like that. So to me, I feel like they seem very normal, which I like. They just seem, very, very much so like they went on here, found what they wanted, and they're going to obviously continue a normal life with perks because you can't escape truly some of the aspects of the fame.
Well, I think they would want to make this there's other couples in Bachelor Nation, but the Sean Lowe type of situation, another story where Zach and them, if they do it right, they could be like the next generation of like people that come on to help and see look, we did it.
Yeah, they just come and collect a bag once in a while.
Yeah, they're just like a new assistant cult leader. So, but yeah, I mean, I think that's good for them. I do appreciate people just
I just realized what you said.
Welcome to the Bachelor cult. Well, that's awesome. What else is going on?
Speaking of them, though, they were invited to this dinner, kind of like a Bachelor fam dinner with the Almost Famous podcast after a bunch of folks recorded podcasts with them. Almost Famous is the podcast hosted by Ashley I and Ben Higgens. And a bunch of the folks went on their podcast and they all had dinner together. So they had Clare Crawley and her new husband Ryan on. They had Gabby and Rachel together on. They had Chris Harrison and Lauren Zima on, which I wonder what that one, talks about. And I think they had on, I'm trying to think if there was other people. Oh, Zach and Kaity, obviously, duh. And so they all had like a little dinner together, which was interesting. It was kind of funny to see like the pictures and videos and stuff of like Zach with technically his two exes, because I mean, he went on the season for Gabby and Rachel. He ended up being like with Rachel, but still.
I wonder how this makes Jesse Palmer feel.
Huh?
I wonder how this makes Jesse Palmer feel.
Yeah, where the fuck is his invite?
Yo, it's old school, new school. We're getting divisions. You know?
Well, it is.
Who's your host? Who's your host? Yeah,
well, because I mean, they're all like new. Most of them who were there were new school, except for like Claire, and obviously Ashley and Ben. But
right.
So just interesting little mix of folks, and
I wonder what that dinner conversation was like.
That's what I want to know. I want to be a fly on the wall for that. Seeing Zach sitting like next to and talking to Rachel and stuff. I want to know. I'm like, what happened in the fantasy suite? I still need to know what happened between him and Rachel.
Yeah, but I guess it's good for showing people that you can still be cordial with people. It doesn't have to always be like a bad breakup and everything. Like, good for them, because like there was talk of Zach, like it was always like weird, like was there like unspoken like beef going on between Zach and Rachel and stuff. So so it's good. It's nice to see them all together. Yeah.
And I guess Gabby went on the show and said how she had once slid into Ben Higgens' DMs, which is amazing because like I was a big Ben Higgens fan. I thought he was like kind of a sad sack for some of his season, but I was a big fan. I loved him. So
that's wild. Girls just shooting their shot at the Bachelor in the DMs.
That's how it was back in the day.
What's going on? Any updates with Golden Bachelor?
So we don't really have like a ton of details or anything yet. I don't know. We don't know hosts or anything. People are tossing out there who they would love to see host. They're shooting out names like Kris Jenner. They're shooting out names like Flava Flav I saw in some TikTok video, which I thought was hilarious. And then they're shooting out names like Martha Stewart, which Martha Stewart was asked recently, especially because like she's been doing a lot of press stuff with that because of her Sports Illustrated cover and everything like that. She was asked like if she would consider going on like a senior Bachelor situation in the Golden years, Golden Bachelor situations. She said she wouldn't be against it, but she just wants to, she wants a tasting menu. She wants to see what she'd be getting into. She wouldn't want it to be a surprise, which that's not really how these things work typically, unless she was like really like the lead, but I don't know. I don't know if Bachelor Nation could afford her. So
yeah, that'd be wild. I mean, she does do stuff though for a paycheck. I've seen her do commercials for less cooler stuff. That would be a crazy twist if for some reason like Martha Stewart ended up being like a contestant or something, like showing up, because it's gonna be a guy like it's gonna be a male lead, right, to start off.
Yes, it's supposed to be a male lead, I believe.
Interesting. What else we got going on?
Yeah, I think we might have sort of started to talk about this like a couple weeks back, but there's more notes and rumors flying around about who will be hitting the beach later this summer, early fall, whenever that looks like. We still don't have an exact start date, I don't think, for Bachelor in Paradise, but people are saying Clayton, Rachel, Recchia, who she said that she would only really consider if Michelle Young came with her, because they're like, Bachelor Nation besties now, and they
she would not go.
Yeah, I don't think Michelle Young would go.
No, not if Nate's going.
No, yeah, especially. This is a different Nate. This is Gabby's Nate.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if Brianna's going, I'm definitely going to be down to watch another season of Bachelor.
Brianna will be there potentially, as well as Christina Mandrell potentially, which they, had their beef on Zach's season. Andrew Spencer might return. Ariel might be there, which I could see. Rodney might return.
You want to see Rodney back there and Andrew back there?
Not really.
Yeah, me either.
Rodney might return too, which Andrew and Rodney, kind of had similar tastes. So, I don't know how that would work. And then Catherine, and Kat, who, had their differences. So I could see them setting this up to, try to bring back some of those older beefs from Zach's season. So it'd be interesting to see how that would play out.
I'm here for it. Anything else going on in reality TV?
Yeah. Season 3 Love is Blind couple, Colleen Reid and Matt Bolton, are finally moving in together. It's been 2 years of their marriage, from the show. And they are finally just going to move in together in an apartment in Dallas while they save up, it's kind of crazy because that was what people were, saying. That was their weird thing there for the reunion and end of the season stuff, is that they weren't living together and that they weren't really making any plans on living together anytime soon. And now finally they're making those moves, which is interesting to me. I wonder if they said that they've been practically cohabitating right now, because I guess Colleen's apartment is closer to Matt's work, so he stays most of the time there. But
see, I don't think it's that weird, and maybe it's just where I'm at in my life. But it's just the fact that they met on a TV show, right, got married, so they made that commitment to each other. But what really makes it like they have to move in? There might be actually I don't know if their relationship is the best, from what I've seen, right, but they might be in the smartest as far as let's still get to know each other like we're dating, even though we're married. We did make this decision, but maybe it's just good for us to do it like this, and to live separately while you're getting to know somebody in a relationship. It might be unconventional that they're married, but I'm not looking at them like they're man and wife.
Yeah, this is. I think it is a little bit more. I think coming from somewhere like Dallas, Texas, that kind of, there's just, I feel a little bit more tradition in baked in a lot of that area. I'm painting with a slightly broad brush right now, but I think based on like how their parents and stuff reacted, I think there's a lot of traditional values
Sure.
in that aspect. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Like I had a professor who had like a life partner that she did not live with like full time. Like they fully like lived in separate places. And that's just kind of how that worked.
I get it. That's especially like, you know, I don't know. I feel like if you're eventually, I mean, they're making the move now, but like some people might get scared of like not having, especially if you've gotten used to having your own space, not having your space and coexisting with somebody else in an area, like could mess up the relationship or something, or put it on rockier roads than they already are or something.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely, like, I think that's when it comes
just
down
for
to
societal pressure. Like, you know, what's the point? Like, if you guys are happy, like living in separate places, like, you know,
Right.
they might be happier like that than when they are together. Like,
yeah.
so I don't know.
I think it was Whoopi Goldberg who once said, like, you know, like, I'm not going to have any man, like, living in my house or, like, whatever, like that, stuff like that, where it's like, no, I'll live alone. So I think it's definitely, like, not unheard of to do, but it is, I think, potentially for them seemingly strange.
Yeah. Anything
But,
else?
oh, I did have some tea.
Uh-oh.
I was talking with somebody at work who I work with, who's like a vendor for a different company, who I guess his friend is going to be on one of the upcoming seasons, I guess season 6. So season 5 is either finishing filming or whatever, or has already finished and they're editing it up or whatever, and it's going to release potentially later this year. But season 6, which would release in February of next year, I guess is in the Charlotte area, because this person who I was talking to, his friend is on the show, and like he's like, I'm going to be in probably some of the episodes because like I'm his best man in the wedding and everything like that. So
Wow, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know where season 5 is located, but season 6, I guess, is Charlotte-ish area, supposedly.
Dope. Anything else coming out of any of these nations?
Yeah, so, I forgot to say this earlier with the Bachelor Nation stuff, but Kaitlyn Bristowe went on, I think it's called, it's a buzz, not, what am I saying? It's a Barstool show called Out and About, which is like hosted by a couple of their, you know, gay influencer folks at the Barstool offices. And she talked about how when she was going through the process of becoming a lead on Bachelorette, that they go through all these like crazy questionnaire situations and psychologist evaluations and stuff. And when she marked in her questionnaire that she was interested in women as well, the psychologist that she worked with pretty much told her that she should not reveal that information to anybody because they would use that to manipulate her, which, I mean, we have seen like contestants who have been bisexual on the show before, and it definitely...
I mean, technically, she is a contestant.
Yeah, she was a contestant, but I'm saying I think when she was being made the lead.
Yeah, I mean, well, it sounds like whoever that psychologist was, like, you know, got her the bag or something, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably smart, but it does make me like a little sad as a fellow bisexual that that's like something that, you know, would be, and I think it was with one of the, I forget her name, who was one of the other contestants who was like openly bisexual. Like they definitely like promoted this whole like, she's so promiscuous, she's like, you can't trust her because maybe she like will like just like hook up with the girl and like whatever. And it just,
well, also in that same interview, it's like, then she mentioned something about like how the producers probably knew about Colton's sexuality and all that, even though making him the lead. So I don't know, there's sounds
that's
like
sus.
Yeah, there's some type of producer manipulation happening there.
That makes me really sad. Like, but
Yeah.
it's interesting because actually a fictional book I read kind of like talked about like the whole plot was like like a fake Bachelor situation where like the lead ends up being gay. So it's interesting to see how potentially some of that could be pretty true about covering up that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's pretty much what we got for Bachelor Nation news this week, guys. What do you think? Are you happy that the Bachelor royalty is getting together and having family dinners. And does that make you happy, or do you want the drama?
Are you going to listen to these episodes of Almost Famous to figure out what potentially were topics that were talked about later at this dinner?
Yeah. Would you go back to normal life, or would you try to be an influencer after being on Bachelor or Bachelorette?
What's your limo entrance?
Yeah, what is your limo entrance? What would your limo entrance be? Would you want to see Martha Stewart on Golden Bachelor? I know I would.
Love Martha.
So yeah, just let us know in the comments below, and we'll shout you out for next week. You know what I mean?
Future Bachelor Podcast.